In this video, we're going to have a look at a gearlog tool which enables you to let guests, that's people without a gearlog user account, make equipment reservations from your inventory. This is really useful if, for example, you're an educational institution and the parents of people, students at the school, need to make reservations for upcoming trips. You don't want to give them an account on the platform, but you would like them to be involved in the process. Also useful if you're a climbing wall or a ski centre and people need to make reservations. Let's hit tools and guest reservation link to get started. When we click guest reservation link, we get two options. We can either copy the link, that's great for popping into website, newsletters, email, things like that, or generate a QR code which you can print out and stick around the place or send around. When people follow that link or scan the QR code, we would see them taken to our guest reservation tool. First thing it will ask them for is a little bit of personal information to go with their reservation. So if they have to provide their name and an email address and a contact number, and state where they need the equipment to be from. So they're thinking about going on a trip between Monday the 19th of January and Thursday the 22nd of January. So they can now browse our equipment inventory and select some equipment they'd like to reserve, which has not already been reserved in that date window. They're now inside our inventory, having a look at what we've got, but in a very reduced version of the platform. They get a couple of help options and they get the equipment page and a little shopping basket which shows what they've reserved so far. So just for the sake of this training example, let's say they want to grab some climbing shoes and a helmet. They can pop open the climbing shoes. All of the ones shown here have not yet been reserved at that time period. So they're going to make a reservation for the shoes and then scroll down a bit further. Let's say they want to take a helmet as well. They can also make a reservation for a climbing helmet. Noting those shoes, of course, sizing might be important. So one you might want to do when creating your shoes in your inventory is to include the size in the name or to use the attributes to record the size of that so people can correctly reserve the right size shoes for themselves as well. Let's add a little helmet to their reservation. So we've got a couple of things in their basket. This account's not been set up to charge for reservations, so we're not seeing any information about price or cost. They're not going to be asked to use a credit card to pay for the reservation, as would be the case for our users who have credit card integration enabled within Gearlog. Let's finally move on and complete that reservation and see what happens back inside the platform when it's done. We'll note also that there is an option of here that there are also pre-built lists of equipment that you can make rentable. That can be really useful where you've got a little pre-built set like a pair of shoes, a helmet and a harness in a little bag. That's a list and it's all rented together. We'll just note that here and also talk a little bit about that in our training video on gear lists as well. But for now, we'll keep it simple. This guest has visited your Gearlog account. They've browsed it read-only and selected a couple of items they'd like to reserve. We can now complete that reservation. You have the option on your settings for reservations to also put in a little message which is popped up to say any health and safety acknowledgements that you would like them to agree to, and also a second message which will also tell them where to go and what time to go. We can have a quick look at those settings as well as part of this training video. They accept the terms and their reservation and booking is complete and they can log off. Back inside your account, logged in as yourself, were you to go onto our lists page and refresh that, you will see that that gear list reservation has come through with its start date. We can pop that reservation open, we can have a look at it, see what equipment is on it, and then of course when the person comes in to get it, we can loan out that equipment to them. See our videos on loaning equipment to do that as well, but also just as a brief recap now, should that happen, what we can do is simply hit the check mark, change its status to on loan. If the reservation gets cancelled, we've got an option here to cancel the reservation as well and get rid of that. But if they do come in and take it out, just hit the check mark, select that status there of on loan. It will default to whoever it is that's picked it up. So you'll see you've got their details there and their loan time. Select all the equipment and mark that out on loan. The list stays. We can see that they've got that loan equipment, and again we can return it back into stock when they come. Those are covered well in other videos for Gearlog. The main thing we're looking to get from this one is that you understand that you can use the reservation link to offer read-only access to people who don't have an account within Gearlog at all. They can browse your asset log, select items to reserve, and that reflects itself in the platform as a list, which you can then pick and pack for them, and then also mark out and loan when they come to collect it. And just the final note in this video is a couple of settings that we referred to. On that settings menu, down here on the reservation and loan settings, we've got the ability to make a couple of statements which are shown to our users. So specifically, when we did that, you'll have seen that a disclaimer popped up. You can change the text of that yourself to make it exactly what you would prefer it to be. And also up here, if you want, also provide things like opening times and locations, which will be popped up to users. Worth noting as well that users will get, those guests will get an email confirming what they've reserved, as will your administrator, and those emails will also include the same information that you include in these settings as well. So on the point of making a reservation, both the administrator and the person making it will get an email to tell them what's happened, and the information is saved on a list inside the platform. So do feel free to use that tool as a way of involving the broader population in your inventory and enabling them to reserve from it. Hopefully that's useful. Any questions on how to use this feature, then reach out to us. That's info@gearlog.org. Thank you very much.